Hi everyone, how you doing? Happy New Year! And we are just shooting the first video of the year. I'll be teaching a lot of things this today. However, I want to make some reflections on 2024 business year, and I'm wishing each and every of my customers, my subscribers, viewers, Happy New Year. I'm praying that 2025 will be a greater year for us all, to be a more productive year and a more successful years for our businesses, for our farms, for our families, and it will be a glorious year for us all. In Jesus' name. All right, so I just want to chip in some few things from the previous year, 2024, and this is to create a level of awareness on rabbit farming to people. Of course, we have been doing that for the past few years on our channel. Uh, 2024 was awesome. We thank God for all that God did and for his help as well altogether. On our farm, we had it was a very engaging year, a lot of sales, a lot of deliveries, a lot of rabbit training, a lot of stuff just going on around what we do here. And just to prove to someone out there who probably is thinking of the potential of rabbit farming in Nigeria, this is to show you that the market is very massive. Personally, on our farm, in 2024, we sold a total of rabbits going to about 5,800. That's almost 6,000 rabbits was what we sold in 2024. And we are already moving on this year, 2025, as well, by the grace of God. Yeah, so that was how much sales that we had in the last year, and this year we are already moving on by God's grace, and we know that greater things are waiting us this year by the special grace of God. So I want to encourage people to actually venture into rabbit farming, and those that are already into rabbit farming to think of expansion for their farm, because the demand is growing in Nigeria, the awareness is growing in Nigeria. So there's a need for us all to actually come together, to pull resources together, pull our efforts together, and produce large volumes of rabbit to meet the ever increasing demand, both for the market of meat production and for breeding stock. You understand? Now, for those who are just starting out in their in rabbit farming, my counsel will be: number one, get knowledge. Now, these are some of the mistakes that most people that reach out to me in 2024 made. You understand? In 2024, some of the people that reach out to me, these are some of the mistakes they made. Number one, people venture into businesses in Nigeria without any prior knowledge. And sometimes when we tell you to watch videos or get our ebook or just, come for training or something, people don't think it is necessary. The truth of the matter is that if you want to do rabbit farming, just like every other business, you need to take your time to learn details about it. Don't think that a random research on Google or on internet is just enough for you to get started, especially if you are doing a large production capacity. You need to be trained, you need to have knowledge. You know, there are times where we recommend people getting our ebook, to read things and understand what works and all, so that they will not work by assumption. More often than not, they just wave it, and by the time they start, you start seeing a lot of errors. You start seeing a lot of mistakes that shows that obviously they are not informed. How do you intend to spend money or spend a lot of money on an investment, but you don't think that it's necessary to actually go for training or get knowledge that is necessary to help you get started and succeed ultimately? It is an error, and this is a new year. I think most people should actually begin to look into correcting the error. Imagine someone that wants to start rabbit farming or has already started and cannot even identify rabbit breeds. So that means even if someone calls you now and they say they want to buy Ayala rabbit or American chinchilla rabbit or the New Zealand white or an hybrid Dutch or a English spotted or a Lequin or whatever, or an Angora or a black giant or whatever breed it is, and you have it on your farm, because you don't know the name of the breed, you will tell them that you don't have it. That is a dysfunction. That is a major error. You have the breed, but because you cannot even identify the name of your rabbit breed, you don't know if you have to tell your buyer or your customer that you have it. Ignorance can be very, very dangerous. And I think if you are putting money into a venture, it is expedient that we should have sufficient knowledge on what we are trying to do, so that we'll know how to go about it, and also so that you can appear to people that you are serious. If you don't know what you should know, there is a way people feel that you're unserious. You cannot even identify the breeds of your rabbit and all that. It's a major error, and I think we should do better this year, right? So if you want to start rabbit farming, the first thing I always recommend for people to go for is to get the knowledge. You need to be knowledgeable about them. You need to know about the breeding, the feeding, the housing. You need to know about the cage. You need to know about their husbandry. You understand their medication, their injection, all of these practices, all the breeding practices that are necessary to keep up for success, in your production line is very, very important. I should be aware of them. You understand? So going forward this year, I want to encourage each and everyone that is starting a rabbit farm to actually get the knowledge that's needed. I always mention it on this channel that I personally wrote a book on rabbit farming, which I think is necessary for beginners to get. If you're just starting out in rabbit farming, you actually need to get that ebook. It will go a long way to help you. And also on our farm, we actually conduct rabbit trainings for people. Yes, people travel from far and near to come and learn, to come and undergo the training here so that they can be knowledgeable before they, you can't be spending millions on a business you're getting started with and you're not knowledgeable. That can actually put all your money away. There's somebody that contacted me and told me that he actually started with a lot of rabbits and they were just dying and dying and dying. And by the time we had a little conversation, I told him, I said, my brother, you are ignorant of what you are doing. So it will surprise you to know that he was the reason why the rabbits were dying. Because the thing that he should not do is what they do on a daily basis. So that is what ignorance can do. His investments were wasting. They were wasting away all because he was not knowledgeable enough about what he was investing into. So I feel that if you are putting money into something, it is very important that you should be knowledgeable about what you want to do. Right? That is very, very important, please. Another thing is to understand the housing pattern for your rabbits. Rabbits are animal that needs cross ventilation. What do we call cross ventilation? This is what cross ventilation looks like. Look at this. Look at this housing system. We make it of nets. There's net on this side. There's net on the other side. There's net on the fourth side. So breeze are coming in from left, right, center. You can see that is what cross ventilation means. You understand? It is ventilated on all sides, thereby making it easy for breeze to come into the rabbit space because the rabbits cannot accommodate heat. As a matter of fact, there's something we call heat stress, such that when the rabbits are excessively stressed to an extent, they can actually die because of the excessive level of heat. You understand? So it is very important that you control the weather condition of your rabbit environment. You don't want to build everywhere with wood and all that would actually make it look as if you want to kill the rabbit or you imprison them ultimately. That can actually bring a lot of disaster on the long run. So I'm just trying to let you understand how your rabbit cage should look like. You can see that even this one now, it is even more economical because this is a 3-step rabbit cage. There's a step here, there's another step here, and then there's another step here. You can see that, making it 3 different steps. You can see that now. There's another step here, there's another step here. So these are 3-step rabbit cage, and this is a total of 9-room cage. There's a 3-room down, a 3-room downward. There's another one in the middle, and then there's another one on top. You can see that. So this is actually saving you space, and you can do the same. You can even make it. You can make your own to be 5-room in the middle, 5-room on top, and 5-room in the bottom. So this will save you a lot of space and will help you to actually accommodate the rabbit effectively, even within the little space that you have. Also, when it comes to your rabbit housing, you want to ensure that the rabbit house is well built with the right net so that it will prevent them from predators. Look at the kind of net that we use for this side. This is Bokoram net. This net is called Bokoram net. It's very tough. As a matter of fact, if you're not careful with your hand around it, it can cut you within a tickle of an eye because it's very sharp and very tough. Now, apart from that, I'm also going to be showing you the kind of net that we use for the floor because I see people making a lot of mistake on this floor net issue. A lot of people make a lot of mistake on this floor net. They don't use the right net. Now look at the kind of net that we use here. This is the kind of net that we use here. Look at it here. You see the kind of net that we use. This net is called 1/2 inch net. This is the right kind of net that you should use for a rabbit cage. You understand? Yeah, most people that I've seen make the mistake of using this type of nets. You see this kind of net, it can be used for the side if you are using an iron cage. You understand? But when it comes to the floor here, this is the right net to use. This is the right net to use. You can see that it is it's called half by half inch net. But this one, the holes are too big. If you use this one for the floor, the rabbit's legs will eventually get injured, and you don't want that to be the case. So in order to avoid the possibility of that, you definitely want to ensure that you use the right net so that the rabbits will not get injured at the end of the day. So that is very, very important. That is very, very important. You must build the right kind of house for your rabbits in order for them to be safe. You understand? Yeah. So then for most people who always ask me this question, that beginners should start with what rabbits? Is it the winners? Is it the growers? Is it the adults? So I decided to answer that question on this video today, and that is for beginners. I always recommend either the growers or the adults. Now there are three stages of rabbits. We have the winners, the growers, and the adult. Most of the time, the winners are between 6 weeks to 8 weeks, and sometimes even 9, 10 weeks. Then the growers, that is the winners. The growers are 3 months, 3 month old. 3 month old is grower, and then the adults start from 5 to 6 months and above. That is 5 to 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and above. Those are the ones that are ready for reproduction. I always recommend that beginners should start with growers or matured rabbits because they cannot handle the fragility that comes with winners. You understand? Because they don't have the experience on rabbit farming. Winners are fragile. They need a lot of more medication than other stages of rabbit. So I don't advise any beginner to start with winners because you might have more casualty and mortality since you don't know what their routine medication is like, and they can easily die. So that your investment will not be wasted. It's always good to start with growers or matured ones. That will save your investment ultimately. You understand? And people used to ask me this question as well: how many rabbits should they start with? Now that is totally and completely within your own capacity to decide. You can start with 10, you can start with 20, you can start with 50 and 100. However, if you're a total beginner, you want to start small in order to learn the rudiments before you actually expand in a bigger capacity, because you need to be sure that you can handle larger rabbits, because there are people that can handle small numbers, but when it comes to a larger number, you need more knowledge. So you need to have experience in order to be able to handle a larger amount of rabbits. If you, for instance, that you can handle maybe 5 rabbits or 10 rabbits without a regular medication routine, but you cannot handle 500 or 1,000 rabbits in that same capacity, because without a standard and a regular medication routine, your rabbit is going to be vulnerable to various outbreaks because you are not preventive of their medication. You are not giving them what they ought to have on a regular basis. So what the 5 or 10 can withstand, 500 may not be able to withstand it. So definitely you want to ensure that you have the right knowledge, and some level of experience in order for you to be able to handle a large capacity rabbit farm. Now, the truth of the matter is that in 2025, we're going to be having a lot more large capacity rabbit farm, because I know those who are starting rabbit farming, and those are expanding even to the capacity of 500 rabbits, 1,000 rabbits, 2,000 rabbits, and even though someone who is starting, who is expanding his farm to 3,000 capacity rabbits in 2025. So a lot of large scale rabbit farm are actually starting out in Nigeria, which is a very good thing because the demand is growing, the awareness is growing. People are coming to the understanding of the fact that you can spend less to raise a large number of rabbits compared to poultry birds. You understand? And that is actually influencing their participation in the rabbit industry now. So that is a very good thing. That's a good thing. And I think you also should jump into this opportunity, because rabbit costs less to actually get started and to actually farm and do as a business compared to other livestock business in Nigeria right now. And their gestation period is just 1 month, makes it very easy for you to actually raise them. You understand? So that is that about that. Then also on the issue of breeding, I just want to answer most of the pressing challenges I realized that most beginners used to face as a mistake that people used to do, and that is they take the female to the male and leave it there for maybe a week or 2 weeks. Now that is not a correct approach, and the reason why it's not a correct approach is because there are many vulnerabilities that can come from that mistake. Number one, if you leave a female with a male like that, um, they might be fighting, and their fight can get very fierce, especially if it happens to be an aggressive female. The female can go ahead and injure the male in its scrotum, yes, and destroy the testes, thereby rendering the male impotent for life. That's number one. Number two is, even if crossing takes place and the female became pregnant, the tendency also abound that she might still experience attempt of crossing from the male, thereby stressing her. And when the stress becomes unbearable, She can die. She can also fight back to the male, and they can injure themselves, and they can secure very severe wound. Or it is also possible that when you keep them together, after a while they might become friends and they will not even cross themselves again. Yes, that is very, very possible. Yeah, so it is possible for a male and a female rabbit to actually become friends and just be living together in the same room, and they will not even bother crossing one another. So your purpose of trying to cross them will be frustrated that way. Now, I have made this video severally over and again on this channel explaining to you what rabbit eat period looks like and how to know when your rabbit is actually on it. Please, I want you to watch those videos so that you can understand when your female rabbit is on it. Most of the time, when your female rabbit is on it, she has a pink reddish vulva that is swollen. And I told you in my last video that the vulva can actually be compared to what it looks like when they are close to when they want to deliver their offsprings. So when she's like that and she's not pregnant or she has not been crossed before, then that's a very good time for you to cross her. Now, there are also instances where you can take the female to the male, and the female is actually trying to mount the male as if she's the male, and whereas she's a female. The reason why she's doing like that is because she's at the climax of the heat period, and if that doesn't work when you cross her, maybe you try crossing her in the morning and she's just the one mounting the male and she will not allow the male to mount her, you can bring her back in the evening, then she would allow for crossing. You understand? Yes, she will allow for crossing. So that must be taken note of. I also talk about the fact that you can deworm a female rabbit that's supposed to have come on it but has refused to come on it. There are several times when that can happen. Or a rabbit that seems to be on hit by the vulva, but no matter what you do, she will not allow the male to cross her. You can deworm her with ivermectin injection today, and by tomorrow morning you cross her, she will definitely allow the buck to cross her. So this is very, very important. I also always mention the fact that the buck should be older than the female, and it should be a very good buck, what we call alpha buck. Those are very good quality buck, because the growth and the kind of buck that cross your door will determine and impact positively or negatively on the kind of offspring that will come out from that doe ultimately. So it is very important that you should also place emphasis on having very good quality buck on your farm. Most of the time, I've realized that most people face and emphasize on the female. They want maybe a larger number of females to male because they feel that the male is just meant for crossing. But what you don't understand is that on your farm, the male is actually the one doing the major work, and I call them the machine of the farm. The quality of the male that is on your farm will actually determine the quality of the rabbit that is going to come forth from your farm. So an experienced rabbit farmer will not joke with the quality of the male that is on their farm. You understand? This is very, very important, especially when it comes to reproduction. We must put that into consideration. Also, the male should be well treated, should be well fed, so that it can be actively performing when it comes to crossing of your female rabbits. You understand? So the male must be well fed, must be dewormed, multivitamin, good water, good quality feed, so that they can grow well, and it can also help them to perform well on your farm. Now, if you have a doe that insists you have done everything for the doe to actually come on it, and she wouldn't just come on it, you can actually make um okra water for her. You can buy okra and cut them into pieces, soak them inside the water overnight. From the following morning, you can use it for your female. You can use it inside water for 2 to 3 days. In less than in between those 2 to 3 days, she's going to come on it and she will allow for crossing, because the okra will induce and help her to come on it faster, which will help her to allow the buck to cross her. So these are some of the things that I want you guys to know. 2024 was an awesome year. A lot of deliveries. I also noticed that from most of my customers in 2024, it seems to me, or it looks to me, that the larger region that has rabbit production going on in Nigeria is the southwest, especially the west. Then I realized that majority of the buyers who are actually buying a lot of rabbits right now is from the east. So I did more way bill in 2024 to the east than any other part of Nigeria. Of course, I did to other parts, southwest, west, and all, even north as well. But the largest region that the market came from and buying rabbits quite frequently is actually from the east. So, and that's a good development, because that is to show that a lot of people actually venturing into rabbit farming from the east. But most of the rabbit concentration we have in Nigeria right now, especially in large number, are currently in the western region, and that's all a good development. And also the northern are actually coming up as well, all together pulling this industry up. So it's a good thing that's going on, guys. I wish you all happy new year. I really don't want this video to be long, but for one reason or the other, it's already long. Don't worry, we have a lot of videos to make this year that I believe will add values to you guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.